Welcome to the A-197 Automation Studio Quick Start for the PLC Part 1 demonstration, where we're going to do an Allen Bradley PLC programming project. Here I am at Automation Studio, and let's go ahead and start a new project. And let's use ANSI A. Okay, so let's open up our Library Explorer. The first thing we need to do is build a pneumatic circuit. So let's go get our components. So we're going to go to pneumatic. And the first thing we need, let's get compressors and power units. Pressure sources, we're going to need a pressure source. And we're going to need, let's go to flow lines and connectors. And let's get exhaust. And I think we're going to need two of them. Let's just go get two. If we don't need two, we'll erase one. Okay, and we're going to need a cylinder. So we need to go to actuators. And we're going to get a double acting cylinder. Okay, and we need a 5-way valve. Let's go to directional valves. And we need a 5-way, 2-way valve. And we're going to need a manual command and solenoid with a spring return. That looks like this guy right here. Good. Okay, let's arrange the components like it shows in our diagram. Our pressure is going into the center. And our two exhausts are right next to them. Okay, so let's connect our devices. Let's go ahead and zoom in. So let's go to View, Zoom Window. Good. Let's go ahead and go back to Home, and let's go to Link. Good. And good. So that looks good. So okay, let's simulate and test it. And that looks good. And we push our push button and the cylinder goes out, and that's perfect. Okay, so let's get out of our simulation. And let's zoom the entire page because we need to move this all over so we could get some to fit our other PLC. So let's zoom page. Let's take this guy and move him up into the, nope. There we go. And let's move him up in the corner. And let's close out of pneumatics. And we're going to go to electrical control JIC standard. And we need to look at PLC cards. And we have two. And we need to put the input on the left. And we need to put the output card on the right. Good. Next step is we need to add power. So let's go to power sources. And we're going to need a 24 volt. And we need a common 0 volts. Good. And we need a switch. So we're going to need a normally open push button. And that one's going to call PB1. Check mark. Good. So let's go ahead and go back up the links. Home. Link. And let's hook. And that's going into channel 0. That power into there, and just go ahead and right click to get out of it, and we're going to put our ground here on COM. Good. Okay, let's zoom in. Let's go back to view, and this zoom window will work. And what we're going to do is work on the output card. So we need another 24 volts and 0 volts. Let's see if we could copy and paste. I think so. Good. And let's grab a ground. Paste. And we'll connect those here in a second. So we need a solenoid. So let's go. Okay, we need a coil. So let's go to output components. And it's right there. Solenoid AC DC. And it should go close to out 0. And we're going to call him A+. Okay, so now let's connect everything. Let's move him over. Move him up a smidge. Good. So let's go back to home. Link. And link. Right click to get out of it when he misbehaves. Good. So that looks good for now. Okay, let's do some cleanup before we move a little bit. First thing we need to do is save it. And let's go ahead and save it some. So we're going to have to do our command over here. So let's do a save as down in here somewhere. Save project as, add it to our menu. And let's go ahead and make sure that we save it to our student drive. And I'm going to call this Alan Bradley. And save it to my drive. What do you mean I can't? Of course I can. There we go. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and view and zoom out the whole page. And let's clean up this a little bit. Let's move those over. We're going to need space in between to put our ladder diagram in. It's actually pretty good. So let's go ahead and move this window. Let's go down so we don't interfere with our diagram. And let's take this guy and try to keep it on the same plane. Oops. Now that looks good. So the next thing we just do is let's go to ladder for Alan Bradley PLC and grab rung. And we're going to grab the rung. And let's grab the green and window it down so it looks like it'll fit in between. Okay, that looks okay, I believe. Let's create our first rung. First, let's zoom in a little bit here, make it easier for us to see. View, zoom window. Since we're working in this area, let's just zoom this. There we go. And the first thing we're going to need is a contact, and we're going to have examine if closed. So we're going to stick it right here, And we're not going to link it yet. And we need a coil. And output energize. And we're going to put it over here. And we're going to call him out 0. And check mark. Good. And I think we could connect it with our link tool. Let's find out. And that's good for now. Okay, so let's link our rung pieces with our PLC. So let's go back to our pointer tool. And let's double click on that, open this up. And let's see, let's go through here. We got a receiver B. And let's go down our list. And this one's going to be input. In 0, we're going to connect it to that card in 0 E1 _1. That's it. So let's close out of that, and it's linked. And this one should go to out 0 of our transmitter. So there's out 0, and we double clicked and we linked it. Good. So now we have our components linked. Let's zoom out our whole page here. Alright, now we're going to connect our solenoid with our valve. So let's double click on our valve, and we're going to double click on our solenoid in LS, and we're going to connect it, and then we're going to call it A+. And it is now linked. And we have A+ up here on our valve, so we have everything done. Okay, so let's shut everything down here. And let's zoom in on our page. Go to zoom. Let's zoom window, and we're going to zoom what we want to see. And let's go ahead and simulate it. And we'll go to simulation, normal simulation. Good, and we're not worried about that, so I'm going to close the switch. I can pull away. So we have 24 volts going through our closed switch, and we have an input to our card, which closes our contact within Allen Bradley, which connects to our output, which is energized, which energizes our output card, which energizes our output solenoid, which energizes the solenoid on our 5-way valve and moves the cylinder out. So let's go ahead and release our button, and now all the power's off and our cylinder returned. Good, everything's perfect.